Hello, friends, and it's the Grumpy Old Man, broadcasting from WDWL TV, Studio B, located on Grumpy Vulture Boulevard, a division of Grumpy Vulture Productions. I hope the Vulture don't start anything new, like another station or something. Okay. I have the strangest Nissan pickup on earth. Now, it's a 97 rot bucket. Matter of fact, it's such a rot bucket, I actually found nameplates just like you would find on your car that say shitbox edition. Because it is. Because every time I slam a door, another piece of the body falls off of it. Okay. Yesterday, I go to the store. No problem. No problem whatsoever. Get what I need. Come out of the store. Fire the truck up. Put it in reverse. Back out of the space. Exit the parking lot. Head home. Okay? So, I get about 3/4 of the way home. And suddenly, my power steering quits. I mean, outright quits. So the first thing I do, I look out the rearview mirror to see if there's, a trail of power steering fluid in the street. Nothing. Now, I back into my driveway. I've been doing it almost forever. Because it's easier when you go to pull out, especially with me having a stop sign right at the corner of my apron. And people don't know what STOP means. I'm attempting to back into the driveway. And anyone that has ever had power steering go out knows exactly how hard a vehicle is to steer. Plus, I have a steering hub with a release because I can change steering wheels. I have 4 or 5 different steering wheels, and every now and then I change off to another one. One is it's kind of neat. It's about 12 inches and it looks like a little race car steering wheel. And I've got one with wood grain and so on. Well, the last time I had to work on the hub, evidently, dumbass didn't take the impact gun and run the nut down on the shaft. Well, the shaft has splines in it, and I could feel when I turn, it would bump a little bit, and I'm like, I'm overriding the splines. Take it easy, because I don't want to strip that column. So I finally get the damn thing in the driveway. And the first thing I do, check the fluid. Fluid's right where it belongs. No hoses blown. No loose belts. Nothing. Pardon me. So, I figure, goddamn power steering pump quit. So I go on eBay and I find a fully reconditioned power steering pump for $40. Now the rest of them are anywhere from $75 to $153. So I emailed the guy and I said, are you a reputable rebuilder? Because I don't want, Joe Schmo down in his basement rebuilding. It's a auto parts facility down in one of the southern states. And basically, like he emailed me, the reason that his price is low, for one, not a big call for 97 Nissan power steering pumps, and for two, he's overstocked on them. So I told him, I emailed him back and said, I want to double check, even though he's got a free return policy. I said, I want to double check the mounting and the hose position and make sure it's the right pump. So, I go out today, fired up, because I'm going to try to back it around the corner on the pad on the driveway so I can get the RAV4 out. As I go to check the steering, it works perfect. I don't understand this. It works just like that didn't happen. So I said, well, you know what, I'm going to go around the block, and if the steering works, I'm going to go up to the store because I needed to go out again. Steering works fine. So, I go up to the store, I shut it off, go in the store, make my purchase, come back out, start it up, check steering, depress the clutch, go to put it in gear, it won't go in any gear. It will not go in any gear. I'm like, oh shit. Now the slave cylinder quit working on me. I'm pumping the clutch, trying to get it in gear, nothing. I'm like, oh man, now I got to get this thing towed home. So I said, let me try it again. Pump the clutch a couple of times. Clutch pressure feels fine. Go to put it in gear. Will not go in gear. At all. I said it was I just drove up here. So I shut the truck off. Going through my phone, looking for my number for road service. I dial the number. I said, wait, it's ringing. So I figure if I got to sit here, I'm going to turn the heater on, start the truck up, turn the heater on, and I've just got my hand resting on the shift lever. Now I've got the clutch depressed. It drops in a second. So, the girl answers, and I said, wait a minute. I said, I might not have a problem. I got the clutch depressed. I go up into first, second, third, fourth, fifth, reverse, put it back in neutral, take my foot off the clutch, depress the clutch, glides right into first like it always did, into second. I tell the girl, I says, problem solved, sorry to bother you, hang up, put my cell phone back in my pocket. This vehicle's possessed. I drove all the way home. No problem. So I back in the driveway and I said, nah. I shut it off. I started back up. Now I always have it neutral, just in case. I learned the hard way once. My foot slipped off the clutch. I almost went through the garage door. So depress the clutch, glides right into first. Down into second, third, fourth, fifth. I have no idea what's going on with this truck. First, the power steering quits. Then I can't get it in gear. I don't understand it. Because even though it's a rot bucket, and people laugh at when they see it, I mean, it's a rot bucket. It just runs like, you know, it's got 150,000 miles on it. Because the girl that had it before me and her mother who had it before her didn't really drive it that much, you know, like me. They lived close to the store. When they went to see friends, they weren't that far away. So, you know, it's a 97. That's nothing mileage. God, I've seen 2021s with 200,000 miles on it, you know. But it's a rot bucket. I wish I could find a cab and a front clip that's, you know, rust-free. Because I would drop it on that chassis in a heartbeat. But, you know, you got the problem then, VIN plates and too much work. I'm too old, you know, to lift a cab off a truck. Nah, too much bullshit. I'll drive it till I'm, you know, my ass is dragging in the street. But what is going on with this thing, I have no idea. No idea whatsoever. It just boggles my mind. And I forgot to put the flag up today. I was going to put my flag out. I decided I was going to put it over here temporarily. Because they're going to put a wall over here in the studio. Plus it's a 3x5, so it ain't no little thing. Matter of fact, yeah, it's still in the package. It's a blue line. Friend sent me to it. Yeah, friend sent me to it. Friend sent it to me. It's a blue line, but it's 3x5. So we'll get that put up. And if you notice, let me take these off for a minute. Grumpy's new look. I've gone from hair to my shoulders to zero. And I got to try out let me take look at that. Talk about cutting heads. Look at the cutting heads on that thing. It worked great. First time I ever used it. And what's nice is it's rechargeable. Here, I'll turn it on. And it just sets on the little charger. Oh my God. It worked wonderful. Of course, I did a no-no. Instead of using the regular hair shears, which we have a barber kit, I have a mustache and beard trimmer. And it's cordless, and it was small enough I could negotiate it. And I took the hair off. I just went one strip at a time, following it. Because, I don't have eyes back here. It only took me like 15 minutes. And after I shaved all the hair off, then I got the magic head shaver. And I'll tell you what. On the website where I bought this from, it had a 5-star rating. Everybody raved about it. Well, it works like a charm. Of course, now I have to resort to a beanie, keep the head warm. So, yeah, I went from hair down to my shoulders. It was just an experiment. I basically, when the virus hit, all the barbershops, everything closed up. And then, while the barbershops were closed up, my favorite barber, who I'd gone to for 20 years, retired. I knew it was coming. Jack is a diabetic, and he was having foot problems, and while he was cutting hair, he'd have to sit down, take a rest, and he used to apologize, and I'm like, Jack, I understand. So I basically, when that time hit, I knew it was time for him to retire. Kind of gave him the excuse. Well, with haircuts $40 and up, I'm cheap. Not to mention, we've had barber kit for years. So, it's not like I don't know how to cut my own hair. And I really got fed up with the long hair. It gave me a total new perspective of what women go through to make themselves look so nice for men. Long hair is a pain in the ass. So, I did my experiment. I've been contemplating it. Today was the day. Instead of doing laundry, I lost the hair. And I'll tell you what, this is not a new look. I mean, I basically had been shaving my head long before I had to hit chemo. Although I'll tell you what, chemo is a quick haircut. A couple of days after, the first treatment, I'd wake up and there'd be a few strands here on the pillow, a few strands there. And then the fourth day I went in and I took a shower, and I lathered up and I had my eyes closed so I wouldn't get soap in them, and I could feel the damn bathtub. I'm like, why is the drain backed up? Because I got a bathtub drain that, instantaneously the water goes. I got the soap out of my face and looked down, and it looked like a possum sitting on my bathtub drain. And it was all my hair. Like that. Gone. But like I say, I go through a spurt. I'm bald, then I let hair grow, then I'm bald, then I let the hair grow. This time I really let the hair grow. But now I'm back to my look I enjoy. And that shaver, I can't remember what brand name it is. I don't think there's a brand name on it. Or is there? Let me turn on the old flashlight. Nope. No name. Their name on the charger? Nope. Just a model number. I've got the destruction manual somewhere. I got it off of Amazon. It was only like $24. And like I say, it had a 5-star rating. All the reviews, people raved about it. There were like 212 reviews. I think I read almost all of them. Very rarely did it drop below a 4-star. Most were 4, 4.5, 5. I'm thinking, well, if that many people, it's worth $25. And no, it was $26.85 because I had just made it over that $25 shipping limit that Amazon had. I think they raised it. But once you were over $25, you got free shipping. So it was $26.85 in tax. So it put me... And I bought it a year ago. 2 years ago. 2 years. It's been sitting in the box. Today, the first performance. Wonderful. Anybody that wants to know the brand name, put it in the comment section and I'll answer it back. But outstanding. And it's a wet or dry. You could actually be in the shower, shave your head, and you won't hurt it. It's a wet or dry. Unbelievable. So, are we going to take a guess as to what folly I'm going to have with my pickup tomorrow when I go out? Be my luck, the roof will blow off it or something, I just don't understand it. All of a sudden, the power steering quit. Like somebody turned it off. And then today when I come out of the store, I could not get it in gear. I was starting to force it and it was grinding and I was like, what is... I just drove up. I drove up, shut it off, went in the store, was in the store 5 minutes, come back out. I think my vehicles hate me. I hope the truck isn't telling me that it's done. it's got a lot more life left in it. I'll tell you what, if I was younger, I would take that engine and transmission out of that vehicle and put it in something else. Matter of fact, I hated to get rid of my Green Ranger, but finally it had engine problems. It needed a clutch. If there would have been a way, first of all, if I was younger and I had the garage capabilities, I would have somehow put that engine in that Ford Ranger. Because I'll tell you what, unbelievable. And it don't burn or leak motor oil. I pull that dipstick and it's constantly on the full mark. Where are you going to find a vehicle with 150,000 miles that don't leak or burn? I go through 1.5 quarts a month in the RAV4 because it burns it. I foul out spark plugs constantly. Matter of fact, I'm waiting for my eBay order so I can put new plugs in the RAV. I could have bought them at the auto parts store if I wanted to pay 3 times as much. I am buying the same exact spark plugs that they have at the auto parts store up the street. Matter of fact, I got 2. I got Advanced one way, I got AutoZone the other way. I'm getting, with free shipping, NGK Iridium plugs for $14.95 plus tax, but $14.95. The same plugs at the auto parts store are $7 a piece. The same plugs. And the neat thing is this time, I get an NGK Racing spark plug nameplate for my truck. I'm not going to put it on the truck, but you get the nameplate. So I'm going to see how long he's got the nameplate. I might order another set in advance because I know 6 weeks from now I'll be putting new spark plugs in again. Depending on... See, here's another problem. I'm in a bad habit. If I went out and at least started and ran the RAV for 5 minutes daily, it would keep the plugs from fouling. But what they do with it sitting, they cold soak. The oil runs down because it's got bad inner seals, and they want $2,000 to put new oil seals in, and it's not worth that kind of money to dump into that thing. So I just put up with keeping 2 quarts of oil in the back end constantly. Now, they used to make what they called non-fouling adapters. I've been trying to find them. And they're like spark plug extensions. Because if I had non-fouling adapters in cylinders 2 and 4, I wouldn't have this problem. I used them years ago, and I'm talking back in the 70s. I had oh God, what was that? I can't remember what year. I had an International pickup. Matter of fact, I bought it from the city of Brook Park. It was their Parks and Recreation truck, and they finally bought a new one and sold this one off. Mainly because I was able to buy a set of 6 non-foulers, they called them. And they were, like I say, like spark plug extensions. You put the non-fouler on the end of the plug, and then you put it down in there, and it moved the spark plug just far enough back to keep it from oil fouling. But, nowadays, you walk in the auto parts store and say, you have any non-fouling adapters? For what? Well, for my RAV4. What are non-fouling adapters? Never mind. That's like, back in the day when we used to actually build things. I used to go to Parma on State Road was Heathkit. Matter of fact, I still to this day have the Heathkit 110 AC to 12 volt DC transformer. It's a voltage changer. I built it, bought it in a kit. You open the box, there was 1,000 pieces. And you did things like solder. In high school, we had, wood shop and metal shop and electronic shop, and we learned, and we learned how to read resistors. And I'll tell you what, that Heathkit, it's right over on the other side of the studio where my little repair bench is, because I still tinker. Well, back in the day, you could go to Radio Shack and buy a resistor, a single resistor. Because, like I say, back in the day, we used to build things. So, one day, I go into Radio Shack and the guy says, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yeah, I need one of these." And I held the resistor up because it was burned out. "What's that?" I said, "It's a resistor." "What do you do with it?" I said, "Well, it goes in a circuit board to handle voltages." "What's a circuit board?" I said, "Never mind. I'll go look myself." Well, also back in the day, they used to have big Craftsman tool cabinets. And in these tool cabinets, they had everything you needed. Switches, indicator lights, resistors, capacitors. Then I get back and they still had the cabinets, but there was a lot of crap in them. And I said, "Well, where's the resistors?" And the kid says, we don't have any of that stuff anymore. They don't teach it to us, so, and we don't stock it. I said, "You got to be kidding me." No, they did away with it. That's like model kits. Kids used to build model kits, plastic cars. No more. Now it's video games. This generation of kids is growing up to be worthless. Worthless. They can't fix anything. First of all, I thank God for my grandfather teaching me, plumbing and electrical and carpentry, how to use, tools. And then in high school, we had wood shop. We had metal shop. We had electrical shop. We had auto shop, where they taught you how to fix things, how to build things, how to use your hands, how to use your mind. The only thing this generation knows how to do, and we're talking the Gen Xers and Gen Qers and Gen Zers and whatever, the only thing they know is how to make a phone call to a repair shop. Can you come fix my washer? Can you come fix my, dishwasher? Can you come fix my dryer? I can do all of that. I've already done it. I've already fixed my own dryer. When I moved in here, my dryer, no heat. So I went online and I diagnosed. I went in, to the website that said, how to repair a certain dryer. And I found out that my heat regulating thermostat was burned out. And luckily, there was a company that sold the part that I needed online. Because the washer, dryer, appliance repair shop, parts shop up the street from me no longer stocked those kind of parts. So I ordered it. And it was like 8 screws, take the back off the dryer, and there it was right in front of me. One screw, it had a little tab, so the tab went in the slot, and then the screw fastened it, and 2 wires. Took me 20 minutes, saved me a fortune, because when I called a repair, appliance repair, they wanted $65 just to pull in my driveway. That wasn't counting repair time. He said, our service call is $65. Plus. I said, plus what? Well, then get this. Loading time. Loading and unloading time. I said, what's that? Well, for the technician to basically put his fucking toolbox in the truck, and then when he got to your house, take the toolbox out. Then it was $25 for every 15 minutes. Now he's not going to run in, get out his, electric screwdriver, take all the screws out, quickly diagnose the problem, fix it. No. He's going to get his hand screwdriver, and he's going to take out a couple of screws, and then he's going to sit back and light up a cigarette because he has to think about this. Then he'll remove the back of the dryer and stare at it like it's, he just started to perform surgery. And he's going to sit there and, well, it might be that. But then it could be this over here. Hang on a minute. I need to go to the truck. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking, tick, 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 tick. He kind of gives that side glance to his watch. Okay, we're at 16 minutes. I'm into the next 15 minutes. Let me go out to the truck. Got to get the manual. Wait a minute. I got to go out in the truck and get my volt ohm meter. And, and of course when he's out in the truck, now the goddamn volt ohm meter is right in front of his fucking face, but he ain't gonna grab it right away. He's gonna go over here, then he's gonna open this drawer here, and he's gonna open this drawer here, and then he's going, oh, here it is. And then kind of look at his watch. Okay, by the time I get back in the basement, I'll be between the 30 and the 45 minute mark. So then, you just turn his volt ohm meter on, and then he has to untwist the cables, for the test leads, and, go in and, no. Oh, here it is. Okay. And then we got to wind up the test leads and turn the volt ohm meter off. As he's turning it off, he looks at the watch and goes, okay, we're between the 45 and 60 minute mark. Now, I read what I needed online. I ordered the part. When the part came, 15 minutes, I was done. I was drying clothes. Because I learned things in school that we needed. They did away with shop classes. Kids don't need that shit anymore. They don't need to know that. I think they have a class, how to dial a cell phone. How to Google. Because kids coming out of school nowadays are fucking worthless. Not to mention, we're a goddamn throwaway nation now. We used to have radio and TV repair shops. Now if your TV goes bad, you throw it in the garbage. And actually I discovered, as long as the screen isn't broken, you can repair that TV. There's only 2 circuit boards in that TV, and they sell them online. $50. So, if you got one of them $2,000 big screen TVs, for $50, you can fix it yourself. Because the circuit boards, they mount with 4 screws and have a couple of plugs. And as long as, you can plug the right angle plug into the right angle spade socket, you got it made. And if you're that stupid, take a picture. Yes, you can, as long as the screen isn't broke. It breaks my heart to drive around on trash day and see some of these big TVs out in the trash. Although most of them, when they go to put them in the trash, somebody comes by and deliberately has to break the screen. But one day, if I happen to see a 70 or 80 inch big screen TV and the screen ain't cracked, Grumpy's gonna fix it. And you can order universal remotes. You can actually order the remote for the TV if the people don't throw the remote away with it. I've done that already. Order a remote. I have a It was given to me, a 19-inch Kobe, I think it is, Coby. And it's a TV/monitor. But unfortunately, it's one of these that you can only turn it on with a remote. There's no button you can push to turn it on. Well, when I moved, I thought I had taped the remote to the back of the TV, because that's what I do with remotes. I tape them with the unit. Well, I either forgot to tape it, or I didn't tape it tight enough and the fucking remote fell off. Well, I wanted to use it the one day. I needed a small monitor. And I discovered no remote. So I went online, manuals.com, punched in the model number of the Kobe TV, and it told me what the model number was for the remote. I went on good old eBay. I love eBay. And there it was. $11. Free shipping. Brand new. The guy had 20 of them. $11. Free shipping. I ordered it. 4 days later, here's my postman. Here's your remote, sir. Pop the batteries in it. Click. Works for me. Same thing, my DVD player. I don't know what I did with the remote. I know I had taped the remote to it. And then I set the DVD player up and I decided not to use it. And I put it away. But I didn't tape the remote to it. I don't know why. Well, remote gone. So, manuals.com. Put the model number in. Gave me the model number for the remote. Went on eBay. $9 and free shipping. 14 available. Click. Because now I can watch all my Mel Brooks DVDs. I love Mel Brooks. Sometime watch History of the World Part 1. It's hilarious. I wish he would have done Part 2. Hooked my DVD player right up to my big screen TV. Now I can lay in bed, watch DVDs. I still have a VHS player. And I still have VHS movies. Yeah, when Blockbuster was closing, I went up and I bought a shitload. And everybody laughed. VHS? You're fucking nuts. I have 2 of them. Work like a charm. So I can watch my VHS tapes. Yeah, I know, I'm an oddball. But we got way off subject today. And what oh my God, I'm almost at an hour. Everybody, matter of fact, watch this right as you're getting into bed. Because it'll put you to sleep. This will be your grumpy go to sleep video. And with that, I'm going to stop boring everybody. But I will talk to you tomorrow. Well, I have something to talk about. And with that, friends, I bid you a good night. And number 30, you're still my man. Number 30, you're